Hello, my friends. It has been a whirlwind of a day. Let me tell you. It is March 2nd, 2025. The temperature is about a balmy, dropped probably 5 degrees in the past 20 minutes as the rain has come on. It was sunny. It was a little warm. But I am here. You're here. It has been a very topsy-turvy day. I don't even think I brushed my hair this morning. Is it? Let's see. My truck is down. My sump pump that pours, if you don't live in a country, you might not know that a sump pump pulls water out of your basement and pours it out of your house so that you don't get flooding. It's cold. I should have worn a sweater out here. So that's what a sump pump does. It is vital when you have an old farmhouse like ours. Our farmhouse is over 200 years old. Many of the features, the foundation is original. The plank siding, as you can see when you visit, is original. The barn is even older than the house. So that comes with a lot of challenges. It also comes with a lot of creative, what you could call creative responsibility. That when something breaks, we tend, at least here, and many of the friends I know who have old farmhouses, we tend to look for what we already have. So instead of calling in a plumber, we call in our pals, because most of my pals also have old farmhouses. And we know a thing or two after 20 years. Like I know how to, I learned how to put in a sump pump, which is no small task, I will tell you. I've learned how to put in a well pump, which is the other thing that went. So the truck has issues. This is all this morning and last night. My truck has issues. The sump pump has had some issues where it died and flooded the basement with about 2 to 3 feet of water because I wasn't home all day. I was out, doing farm-related things with meetings and stuff, and a couple garden consults. Came home, realized that the front yard wasn't flooded. That's because all the water that would normally be out in the front yard was in my basement. I kid you not. It was actually in the basement, knee deep. Now, I am 5 feet on a good day, so that's about 2 feet of water. And so how did I cope with that other than a couple choice swear words? Well, it's not a situation where you can go down and say, where you can just go, well, I'll deal with it some other time. You have to actually go into the basement, into the water. So I gave my fly fishing waders, which I used to wear to go down to the basement, which is a scary basement. I do not like the basement. And normally I would wear my old fly fishing waders, which I don't have anymore because I gave them away to another woman who would actually fish. Anyway, I improvised. And I wish I had a photograph to share with you because I did creative responsibility like my mother would and my father. I darned garbage bags, plastic garbage bags, on my legs with duct tape. It worked. I wish I should have taken a picture because you can't make this crap up. So I got down there, played with the sump pump, turned off all the power to the house because you don't want that going to the thing. It's dangerous. Now, if you are an amateur and you haven't done this before, then you can afford an electrician or a plumber to come within the next, this is like a plumber needs to come within 20 minutes because it's gonna overflow to where it's very dangerous to your furnace and all that other stuff. Our furnace is actually raised. Anyway, so I got down there, turned off the electric to the house, so the breaker box was fine. Readjusted and tinkered with the sump pump. Got the water out because apparently the float, so how a sump pump works, it's kind of like your toilet tank. If you look in your toilet tank, there's a little float in there, and when the water rises, it kicks up the float, right? And it stops, in the case of a toilet, its tank, it stops the water from any more water coming in. A sump pump works the same way. So if this is the float, the water as it rises in your basement or wherever you're using the sump pump, it kicks that float up and turns the pump on, and the pump pushes water very quickly out of your house. Like my basement was cleared in 20 minutes of an incredible amount of water. Then as the water recedes, that float, if this is the float again, it kind of goes down. And when it gets to a certain level, in this case, down into the little culvert that was dug in the basement, that sump pump turns off. When the water rises again, it comes up. But if anything's wrong with that flow, things like a flooded basement with 2 to 3 feet of water happen. So I usually check it every day. I checked it that morning. It was fine. And then when I came back 8 hours later, I had a hot mess on my hands. This was yesterday, last night. So this morning, I went down because I'm like, that's a funny sound. What the hell is that? What fresh hell is this? Because I hate the basement. Let me say this. It's the only time I use the word hate is regarding that 200-plus-year-old stone foundation basement. If you have an old house, you know what I'm talking about, girl. You know what I'm talking about. So anyway, I went down the stairs this morning, and there is buzzing coming from my well pump. Now, this is not the same as the sump pump. The sump pump pushes water out of the basement. The well pump brings water, fresh water from the well and into your house and into your water supply system. Well, my well pump was making a funny noise. My water heater was making a funny noise, and there was an odd smell. Now, I've been hit by lightning twice, so I know what ozone and bad electric smells like. So I look over at the well pump. What the hell is wrong with you? And I turn it off. I go back over and I look at it because now it's off. There's no power to it. I go over, I look at it, and there is smoke coming from the well pump. Oh, yeah. Coming from the well pump. And instead of panicking, like I wanted to because I'm in the basement and I hate the basement, I decided that I was going to put on my big girl boots. I turned the whole system off. Turned the whole system off, came back upstairs, and called for help. I called my friend George. So today, that was this morning, and that's why I tell you this story, not to terrify you about old houses and all the maintenance and all the work that it takes, but to tell you that that's why I wasn't here at noon. Things happen, and those were the lemons that I got this morning, as well as possibly a broken water heater. So now my family, because I hate the basement, are down there fixing double checking the sump pump, and they are taking out the well pump. And kudos to Deaton's Eggway and Ace Hardware for having my back every single time. You folks up there at those two stores are near and dear to my heart, and I can't thank you enough for all your help. Phenomenal service, just incredible. And it's somewhere you can go and you ask a question, And someone there will treat you like you're an intelligent person and help you figure it out. And it's just such a wonderful thing to have in a small town. So that's what I've been doing. And that's why I'm an hour and a half late with this live raffle drawing. And I really apologize because we have a nice little cohort going on of wonderful Lazy Dirt Gang members who subscribe to the email and always check in. Like I got a bunch of texts, like around 11 o'clock. Oh, see you at noon, see you at noon. And because of everything going on down in the basement, because I was down in the basement, not on my phone, I couldn't reply and say, I'm late, I'm sorry. I have this going on. And I really apologize because it's like a little tea time and no, it's not the end of the world and blah, blah, blah. But it is our time together. And I take these noon lives during our spring kickoff sale very seriously. And I just love them. And I can't wait to be able to show you actual flowers. So on that note, let's jump into the things we're going to talk about. So 3 in this week's newsletter, if you subscribe to the Lazy Dirt Gang, you saw on Thursday's newsletter that always goes out on Thursdays around tea time, around 2 o'clock. You saw that on this week's live, I was going to talk about 3 things that smart gardeners do in the spring. And we were going to do the live raffle for a free 1-hour garden services consult. I got that all wrong. Hold on. I'm giving away a mini Garden Buddy package. Now, a Garden Buddy is where I come to your garden, I do all the work you don't want to do, or I help you with a project that you're doing. Like say you buy 500 daffodils and you need help planting them. I'll be your garden buddy. That's on my website, lazydirtflowerfarm.com, gardening services. Very, very fun, no landscaping, nothing like that. This is just a way to kind of get some help in the projects you're working on in your garden. And it doesn't have to be native plants, but it could be native plants. I am a master gardener as well as a nursery woman, whatever, nursery person. I grow plants, damn it. Plant lady, crazy plant lady. Fits. Anyway, so that's what I do. I come and I help you with your projects, get them done, help you with any tools you need or whatever. And so the mini gardening buddy package includes a 1-hour free visit and 3 hours of garden work. This is at a value of $150 to $250. And it's very special. It's my gift to you for putting up with me on this YouTube. So we're going to get to that. And then the other thing that we're going to talk about is that I want to just touch base on really, really quickly is that we're going to talk about a little sneak peek of a flower arrangement for spring that I'm making for a dear sweet friend of mine. It doesn't have any plastic or foam in it. And that's going to be like a little segue because I'm going to do a video on that tomorrow and show you how that fun stuff that's over here and what I'm going to use, right? So here's the 3 tips. It is I don't know if you can see, but it is pretty yucky out there. Look at that. It's not that yucky. I shouldn't say that. It's early spring. It's mud season. It's raining. It's cold. But there's still beauty there, right? Look at those. There's grass out there, just not even breaking dormancy yet. We're in the waiting spot. So it's still beautiful as we wait for all that. There's buds on the lilac, which is nice. There was some buds I got from the, I'll show you these real quick. I have an invasive species that I'm constantly fighting with, and I always cut it back. But in the spring, it has these beautiful flowers. So I use them a lot in arrangements to try to keep it controlled. This is flowering quince. Isn't the buds beautiful? It has these beautiful hot pink flowers. So I'm going to use that in tomorrow's floral arrangement that I'm going to show a video of. I'm going to put those in water in a little bit. So here's 3 things. 3 things that smart gardeners do in the spring. Number 1, a smart gardener in the spring does not clean up their garden. All those leaves and everything out there, we're going to leave them alone. A smart gardener leaves them the heck alone. In those leaves are all your pollinators overwintering. They're also, like today, it's a windy, rainy, cold spring day. Those leaves are protecting the soil from wind erosion. They're warming the soil. They're like a little blanket. Now, and they are also housing and sheltering larvae like lightning bugs, Luna moths. And if you go out there in very early spring like it is now, and you go out there and you start raking, those are the things you're putting in the trash, you're putting in your compost pile. They don't belong there. The only thing that's going to happen to those leaves is they're going to turn into soil by the end of summer. Leave them. They're fine. And the pollinators will appreciate it. The birds will appreciate it because there'll be something for them to eat. So just leave the leaves. That's what a smart gardener does. The other thing a smart gardener does is instead of cleaning up, you're wondering, well, if I don't clean up the garden, I don't cut the stems back on all the plants, I don't rake up leaves, what the heck do I do? A smart gardener, friends, addresses the problem of invasive species in the spring. And sometimes it's species specific. Like there's what's it called? Milton's honeysuckle. There's a really highly invasive honeysuckle. Can't think of it, too much going on this weekend. There's an invasive honeysuckle that you cut back in the fall, not the spring. But then there's some shrubs invasive shrubs that you can get in the spring. You can also identify Morrow's honeysuckle. That's it, Morrow's honeysuckle, which is invasive. You take care of that in the fall. But in the spring, you can identify it because it will be the very first shrub. Usually it's the very first shrub that will leaf out. So you can put a tag or something on those shrubs that says, okay, in the fall, when everybody's lost their leaves, I need to come out and cut this and spray it with some vinegar or whatever you're going to do to get rid of it. You can address invasive species like bishop's weed. I have bishop's weed, so I'm tackling that. The pachysandra, things like that. That's what a smart gardener does, because once you get rid of those invasive species and you get them pushed back, then you can plant more native plants or whatever you happen to like that's not an invasive species. Say peonies. You can plant peonies. And the third thing that smart gardeners do in the spring, you're not going to believe this. You're going to love it. This third thing, and one of the most, we could almost say it was the most important. It's pretty important. The third thing the smart gardeners do in the spring is they plan ahead. They plant. You're going to plant ahead. If you're a smart gardener, you're going to plant ahead for either next season and next year in the spring. So in spring, you can plant native ephemerals. Now, native ephemerals, spring ephemerals, they're just like the daffodils, or European cousins. They're going to bloom for a few short weeks, and then they're going to go dormant through the heat of the summer and through this cold of winter, and then they're going to rebloom again in the following spring. Well, native spring ephemerals are not these bulk buys like the daffodils and stuff. You have to purchase those and bring them into your garden. Do not collect wild. Don't even get me started on that soapbox. Do not collect wild populations of spring ephemerals, ever. I don't care what species it is. Even ramps. Don't you be going out there digging up ramps. You just got to cut the leaves off. Leave the bulbs. That's my soapbox for the day. So your things like right now in the shop, I have for Virginia bluebells. You bring those home, plant them. They may flower. They will establish their roots, and then they're going to go into dormancy. And then next spring, they'll bloom. The other thing you're going to plant, a smart gardener plants, and you are a smart gardener, is you're going to plant your fall blooming perennials. Your fall blooming native perennials. Things like your asters, your saladagoes, which are goldenrods. Now, listen, don't even start about the sneezing. It's not goldenrod you're sneezing at. You're sneezing at the ragweed. And in the summer, you can actually, if it's around your house, you can go out before it blooms, or mid-spring, around June. I go around the house and I start whacking ragweed just around the house so it's not coming in through the windows quite as much for my allergies. So asters, goldenrods, anything that's going to bloom in the fall, because planted in the spring, like the spring, planted in the spring, those native species will bloom this fall for pollinators, and it will be magnificent, absolutely magnificent. And that's what a smart gardener does. Then in the fall, you don't have to do anything. Again, your job is just to sit around, drink hot cider in the fall, and watch the pollinators enjoy the feast. Watch Mother Nature in action. That's your job. And if you have questions about any of that, you can look at my blog over at Lazy Dirt Wildflower Farm. There's a wonderful post called Lazy Gardening for Autumn and Spring Pollinators. Lots of information in there. And it's a short one, believe it or not. You can cut things down to short when I really try. Sometimes it takes a lot of effort. So that's that. Let's get on to this raffle. Okay, so before I start this raffle, I want to tell you about the Garden Buddy. Garden Buddy came around because a friend of mine, a dear, sweet, sweet friend of mine, had recently had a baby. This was a couple years ago. She needed someone to take care of her gardens because she had a very difficult time. And so I went over to help her, of course, and we were talking. She said, this will be great to give as a gift. And I said, well, what do you want to give it to? Well, I'll do it. And that's how Garden Buddies, she said, because I need a buddy. I need someone to come over and just keep the weeds at bay. So all I can do is come out and pick some tomatoes and beans and flowers and not have to do the weeding, the watering, the this, the that. So that's what I did for her for the whole summer. It was wonderful. And she gave that same gift to somebody else, and she's the one who named it Garden Buddies. So that's what a Garden Buddy does. That's what I do. I come over, help you with any little task. It could be for an hour, or it could be for the whole summer. So I made cute little packages of cocoon, caterpillar, and butterfly. 3 levels, super easy, or hourly, depending on the job, for here in Central New York. I mean, if you want me to come to Cape Cod during the summer, I'm happy to come out there. You just let me know. Or, North Carolina in the winter. So this raffle, today's raffle is going to be for the mini package, which is a 1-hour garden consult and 3 hours of Garden Buddy services to one lucky fabulous winner. There goes my team to go get the well pump and all the tools that go with it. I have to make somebody dinner. So here's the raffle. Here we go. Ready? Okay. Who is it? Fix the glasses, which I'm supposed to do next week. Get new glasses. Lori F. I'm not going to say your last name, Lori, because this is on YouTube. Lori F. I'm going to email you today and let you know that you are the winner of the Garden Buddy services. Now, if you want to check out Garden Buddy services, head to my website, lazydirtflowerfarm.com, and you will see it right across the banner. It says Gardening Services. I have probably 5 slots available for this year left. Now, let's talk about spring things real quick, because we're on our 24-minute mark. Determined to get these under 20 minutes, but we're going to shoot for 30 today because of my yakking. I'm going to be sowing some amazing sweet pea seeds from Saltwater Seeds today, and I'm going to be making a beautiful arrangement with this hot mess. Tomorrow, I will post it as I'm progressing and making it with moss, lovely moss. There are some coreopsis in here. There's some daffodils. Yes, there are daffodils. There is some tufted hairgrass in here that I dug up early. They are much in shock, going, oh, it's too early. It's too early. And yes, I have a native flower farm and I grow daffodils. They're not invasive, they're beautiful, and they are just lovely. Look at the roots on that thing. Just gorgeous. And look at this tufted hair grass. Can't wait to play with that. There's also a Monarda in here and some landsleaf coreopsis. So I'm going to be putting these together in a beautiful centerpiece tomorrow, and I will post it on YouTube. When I am finished, I will document and show you how to make your own spring arrangement without any plastic or foam with things you already have in your garden. So tomorrow I will make sure that my hair is done. I'm on time, and I will have the camera all ready, and we will see what we can create. No real plan, just stuff. So thank you, friends, for joining me today in the making of lemonade. I'm so grateful for great friends who have helped with this little water emergency. And as I said, there's no water right now because there's no well pump. And I am grateful for rainy spring days. I'm grateful for you for watching. I'm grateful for a lovely little 3 acres to go out and play in and collect wonderful things to make for people I love. Anyway, I will see you next Saturday. Hopefully we'll be doing a wool pot. They are crossing the pond as we speak. Anyway, I wish you a blessed day. I wish you a warm cup, and I will see you soon. Don't forget to hit the bell icon and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss all the fun adventures that are happening outside. As spring comes along, I'm sharing all the behind the scenes stuff with no spills and no thrills. Well, there might be some spills. We shall see this year how it goes. But thank you so much for liking, subscribing, and if you want to see more, check out my website, lazydirtflowerfarm.com, to see all the other action that's going on the farm. That happens pretty much off this porch. Until next time, stay well and keep growing.